Hello, I'm Ulrich Leon from Terrific Trading, and in the next few minutes I'm going to share with you some tips on how to run effective role plays that you can use to sharpen your selling skills. Now, I'm aware that the moment people hear the word role plays, it puts them right off. They think they're unnatural, they're unpleasant, but in actual fact, they're probably the most effective sales training technique you can have, provided that they're run properly. And that's why I'm going to share some tips with you on how to make sure they are effective and they are run in a productive way that doesn't make anyone feel overly embarrassed. First of all, I'm going to take this as if we've got three roles. There's going to be the salesperson, the customer, and the observer. And the observer has a key role in this as well. The role of the salesperson, of course, is to act as they normally would in a situation, whether that's on the phone or face to face. The person in the customer role, you're going to have to prepare for that a little bit before the role starts. You're going to need at least 30 seconds, a minute, probably longer, to think through what it's like to be a certain customer type. And you and the salesperson will need to agree beforehand what the customer type is that you're playing. And by that, I don't mean the difficult customer. I mean, what type of customer is this? Is this the owner manager of a business? Is this the accountant? Who is it that the salesperson's dealing with? So they've got an idea of that, and you can stay in your role too. Observer. Before the role play starts, you need to be aware that you're the fly on the wall. You're going to need to be close enough to see and hear everything that happens, but you're not to get in any way involved during the role play time itself. So in other words, you don't interrupt, you don't laugh, you don't make any comments, but by the same time, you'll be aware that in selling how important body language is. Your body language as observer is important. If you smile, smirk, frown, raise your eyebrow, that'll be off-putting for the salesperson. So be aware of that sort of body language and just concentrate on your role, which is to soak up information. It's all going to happen so fast for both the salesperson and the customer that they'll miss learning points that you'll pick up. That's why your role is so important. That's why ideally we need 3 people in this process. Now, once the role play starts, both salesperson and customer, but particularly salesperson, stay in your role. Don't get part way through it and say, oh no, that's not really what I would say. Oh, this is so hard. You can't do that when you're in front of a real customer. So stay in the role till it's finished. If something's been mucked up a bit, just keep going. Imagine the camera's rolling. You're the actor or actress in the movie. You just have to keep going with it, and you can go over that stuff afterwards. So stay in your roles throughout the role play. When it's finished, and this is really important, the observer is to take charge. The observer now has the role of someone chairing a meeting. An observer, the first thing you do is you turn to the salesperson and say, how do you think you went? Salesperson, you're to be brief with this. Don't spend a whole lot of time saying, oh, this is unnatural. It's so much easier in the real situation. Of course it is. But that's what this practice is about. So just a couple of points from you. And then, observer, you turn to the customer and you say, how do you think they did? What's something they did well? And maybe get a point or two from then. What's something they could have done better? And you, as customer, may say, well, I was really surprised they didn't ask me such and such. Great. Keep it brief, get the points. Now and only now, observer, do you add your comments? And you also need to keep them brief. Start off with at least one thing that the customer did well. Then a couple of opportunities for improvement. Keep it brief, Don't let the others get into a general conversation with you. That can all happen afterwards over a cup of coffee or something. But this has to be kept tight. When it's finished, we then change roles. Observer, you become maybe customer, customer, you become salesperson, and so on. And you do this, keeping it tight till all three of you have had a go at the different roles. That's how you'll learn. And do this regularly. Regular role plays really do help. They're fantastic learning opportunities. And then when you are out in the field doing the real thing, it's so much easier. To help you with this process, I've got a one-page cheat sheet, a little form that's helpful. If you haven't already received that from me, then contact me, Ulrich Leon, at info@terrifictrading.com, and I'll get that for you. Good luck with your role plays.